I represent. And Wildlands Conservancy has been around since 1973. We are the premier nonprofit land trust for Lehigh Valley and the Lehigh River watershed and surrounding areas. So what we do is we preserve and protect land. Over 60,000 acres and counting will never be developed. It will remain wild and it will remain open to the public for hiking and a time to commune with nature. So that's our goal, is to protect as much wildland as possible. So today, I'm just going to introduce to you one of the animals that Wildlands helps protect and take care of by continuing to give it a place to live and a habitat. So I'm going to ask, as loud as it is out there, that maybe you guys stay as quiet as you can, because she's easily stressed, okay? So this, ladies and gentlemen, is my co-educator, my educator ambassador. Her name is Cyclops. We call her Cy for short. And this is a bird you've all seen flying around and in great numbers. This is a red-tailed hawk. And I'm going to turn her around so you can see that beautiful red tail that she's known for. They don't develop that red tail until maturity, so around 1 to 2 years of age. But we're going to start talking a little bit about what makes this particular bird such a formidable predator, with no natural predators of her own, although hatchlings can fall prey to mammals and larger birds. This bird is remarkable and remarkably adaptable to a variety of different habitats. You can find them in grasslands, you can find them in deserts, you can find them in mountainous areas, forests, wide open places. And here in the Lehigh Valley, you're gonna find them on telephone poles, the edges of buildings, and the tops of trees, especially those trees lining Cedar Crest. You can see them up at the top, looking out over the open spaces for something to eat. I'll tell you a little bit about Cy. She's about 10 years old. She was born in 2014. She's been with us since 2018. She's going to be a little stressed, so I'm going to talk a little slower. She's missing her left eye. She was in a vehicle collision. She was brought into a rehab for an eye injury. The eye was later removed. Put your beautiful hand down. I know, baby. I know. There's a lot going on for her right now. But despite the removal of her left eye, she's still remarkably sharp and can catch her food in midair and can do some really amazing things. This particular bird is a carnivore. She's an obligate carnivore. She's going to eat a variety of different foods. She's going to look for squirrels, pigeons, mice, rats, rabbits, groundhogs, and she's going to eat what's available to her. So, though this hawk is normally found in outdoor spaces and forested areas, I don't know if many of you know this, but they have now taken over Manhattan. So you can find the red-tailed hawks in New York City now. One was introduced, I think one, they called him Pale Male. I think he's since deceased, but There's a lot of feral pigeons and a lot of food for them. So they have adapted to the buildings and the architecture, and you can see them on bridges, and you can see them on balconies, and you can see them on tops of buildings in New York City. They do quite well there. And if you're gonna find her here, you're gonna find her probably on a treetop.
Uh-oh.
I am gonna keep an eye out on her stress level though, because she shouldn't become too stressed. Her mouth parted that way tells me that she's a little upset right now. So I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite things about the red-tailed hawk, and one of them is her amazing vision. She has very, very sharp vision, very 10 times that of a human being. She can see from circling above 100 feet down a little mouse, and it's okay. It's okay. I know. I'm gonna try to get her back on my feet. Yeah. Well, this is bad. Let's keep that clip. She can swoop down, however, upwards of 120 miles an hour, which is incredibly fast and one of the fastest birds to do that. So in her swoop at 120 miles an hour, her prey doesn't stand a chance. She's gonna grab it with her talons, her very sharp and very long talons that can be 1.25 inches long. And her back talon, she has 3 in the front and she has 1 in the back, and that back talon ratchets. So when she grabs something, it triggers the ratcheting effect of that back talon, locking it in place around her prey. If her prey moves around too much and tries to escape, that ratchet's gonna get tighter. So it stays ratcheted until she has found a place to release and to then eat her food, eat her catch. She can eat snakes. They've been known to eat rattlesnakes. Their feet are thick and very scaly, so that is so that they can withstand the bites of their victims, should their victims be able to bite their feet. And her sharp beak is for tearing at her food. So that's really, you can tell a lot about what a bird eats by the size and shape of its beak. This beak is very common for hawks and for raptors, and it's because they're tearing at their food. She doesn't fight with her mouth, she's gonna fight with her feet. That is really where her strength comes from. She has incredibly strong leg muscles and incredibly strong feet. So while the average human can maybe squeeze and make a fist to anywhere from 10 to 60 PSI, she's holding on to me with about 200 PSI. And while that's very strong, of course, I believe the great horned owl can squeeze at 500, crushing bones in his hands, in his talons. So she's squeezing me right now with about 200 pounds of pressure. So she's a daytime hunter. So that look that the hawks have, that look that makes them look like maybe they're, being real serious and frowning a little bit, that look comes from the fact that in their skull, they have this ridge, this cranial ridge built into their skull that sits outward like a little baseball cap. And that helps protect and keep the glare from when they're looking out at the sun. So during the daytime, it makes their hunting better and their eyesight sharper because they're wearing a visor. And that's what gives them that really serious kind of look. So that's built in. She also has a sclerotic ring in her skull. A lot of birds do. And that sclerotic ring is attached to her skull and it wraps around her eye and it keeps her eyes in place, making them able to really be as sharp as possible. Because she can see, like I said, 10 times that of a human being. She can pick out a mouse a couple football fields away. So it's incredible what they can do. Sorry. Her wings are broad and round. They are easily identifiable, mostly only after they get their red wings, their red tail feathers. When they're young, it can be very hard to know what you're looking at. She's about 20% larger than the male. Most females are larger than the males by 20 to 25%. And her wingspan can reach up to 4.8. So 4 feet 8 inches can be the wingspan of this bird. She's also one of the few birds that can kite. And kiting is when a bird with their wings broadly open can stay still in the air using the force of the air. Much like when you're holding a kite still in the air with a string, the birds can do that. Not all birds can kite, but she can kite, and she does it very well. Yeah. One other thing I wanted to mention about her skull and her vision was that she has very, very sharp color vision. So she can see ultraviolet, and then she can see red, green, and blue. But she sacrifices nighttime vision for that ultra sharp color vision. So because they're daytime hunters, at night, you're probably not going to see them out and about. They're not hunting at night. They're probably just going to go hide away somewhere and wait until sun up. So she sacrifices her nighttime vision with having excellent daytime vision. She's so stimulated right now, you guys. I think I might have to put her away. I don't know that she can be out. Okay. Does anybody have a question about the red-tailed hawk or about Cyclops? In general, anybody? It's fine if you don't. Yeah.
I know some hawks might hunt in packs to take out larger prey, or would red tails do that?
No, they're solo hunters.
All right.
They're solo hunters. You might see American crows following red-tailed hawks, and the crow will do this to disrupt the red-tailed hawk so they don't settle down in that area, or that they don't find their nest, because red-tailed hawks will take down and eat the hatchlings or the eggs of the crows, but crows can take down a red-tailed hawk. So you can find 4, 5, 6 crows. If she were to take a hawk, if she were to take a crow, hunt a crow, and that crow is going to call out an alarm, and other crows are going to come, and they're all going to fight together, which is what they do, and they can take her down. So that's kind of a neat, impressive thing to know. One last thing, I'm sure you all know the Hollywood story, right? Every time Hollywood shows us an eagle, every time you think you're hearing an eagle cry in a Hollywood movie, and this goes way back, I think, to the 40s, you're really hearing a red-tailed hawk. Crows or eagles do not have an impressive cry at all, but they do. So Hollywood uses the red-tailed hawk when presenting an eagle. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Cy away, okay? She's pretty stressed, but I wanted you to see her, I wanted you to meet her, and I wanted you to know that if you can help at all keeping roadways clear of debris, and because animals are attracted to that. So again, she was hit by a vehicle swooping down from a tree to catch prey, and that's a very common accident, unfortunately. So look out for them when you're driving mountainous roads with large trees on either side of you, because there's a lot of birds in there that are looking for things to eat and crossing that street. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Cy appreciates your time. I'm going to go ahead and put her away now.